depending on where you are in this country, I'm sure many of you have felt the wrath of this endless heat wave. And the forecast is saying that this will be a long lasting, far reaching heat wave that will swallow most of the lower 48. Man, it has been a painful last few days, and there's more to come, y'all. I wish I could say this was over, but I know why we are living through this, so I'm not going to complain about it. I'm just going to stay in my AC and do the best that I can, just like many of you. All right, so this, ladies and gentlemen, is the Washington Post, July 6, 2020. An enormous swath of heat is about to swallow much of the lower 48, bringing a long stretch of temperatures in the 90s above the century mark in some areas. So some areas are going to go well over 100. In the coming week, over 80% of the lower 48 will see temperatures that top 90 degrees, and 40 million people could see temperatures above 100. Now, they said this past weekend's heat wave impacted over 200 million people in the country. The worst of the heat is predicted to focus in the central and western U.S. Okay, central and western. Well, I can believe that, where it will be the most persistent. The heat is originated from a sprawling ridge of high pressure called a heat dome, deflecting storm systems north as much as the nation's bake. So yeah, we had a storm here, but I went and looked at the forecast. Man, we are jumping right back up into the 90s. We're not even escaping this thing, not one bit. Okay, so the event looks impressive both in coverage and duration, lasting in some areas up to a month. Did you hear what I said? In some areas of the country, the heat wave can last a whole month. I think that's what's happening to us in the Northeast. I mean, we've been in the 90s since the 2nd. We had a storm today which knocked the temperatures down, but the temperatures are going right back up. So most areas in the country could see this heat wave for a whole month. You remember last summer I had did stories on this. They said this was coming. The heat waves were going to get longer. And we're seeing it already. The relentless punishing heat may force more people indoors into air-conditioned environments where the novel coronavirus spreads more easily compared with outdoor settings, including in states such as Arizona and Nevada, where cases have recently spiked. The National Weather Service Climate Prediction Center is already grabbing the headlines for a significant patch of heat, writing widespread excessive heat is probable, with the highest chances in the central U.S., where hot temperatures will combine with increased humidity. Just about every corner of the lower 48 will experience a fair share of the heat, which will become potent later this week into the weekend. Already, a tongue of 90-degree heat is snaking its way into Montana on Monday, with temperatures in the upper 90s to near possible 100 Tuesday. In the eastern Wyoming and western Kansas areas, By Wednesday, a high of 104 degrees is expected in Pueblo, Colorado, where high topping 100 degrees are possible for the entire remainder of the week. Wow. It is not just the plains dealing with a wicked summer sizzler. The heat will be ramping up late in the week over the eastern United States through temperatures should remain a touch more moderate. Wow. Mm-mm-mm. That will cap temperatures in the lower 90s for places such as Nashville, Birmingham, and Atlanta late this week, but tropical humidity could make it feel like 100. To the north, lower mid 90s are possible. They're talking about in Chicago, Columbus, Ohio, Minneapolis. A few upper 90s are even forecast over parts of Michigan and Ohio on Friday, with the National Weather Service forecasting 97 in Flint and 96 in Detroit. In the Northeast, a brief backdoor cold front that brought cooler onshore flows. Independence Day is relenting, allowing the heat to reign once again. DC already racked up 10 consecutive days with highs at or above 90 degrees on Sunday, with 90s likely every day this week. Friday hitting a sweltering 97 degrees, the capital's longest 90-degree stretch last year persisted for 12 days. Wow. Current indications suggest the ongoing streak could rival the 16-day span of 2011. If Washington, they're talking about 18 days are possible for the Washington, D.C. area. Wow, 18 days. I'm sweating just thinking about that. So they're talking New England will probably feel the heat by the weekend, highs in the mid 90s, possible in northern Vermont with one or two 90 degrees, likely all the way up into extreme North Maine along the Canadian border. So even Maine will be in the 90s. That's an area that already challenged or tied several all-time heat records this summer, becoming the East Coast warmest on June 19th. Wow, y'all. Ooh. I mean, just looking at this stuff makes me hot. I'm sweating just thinking about it. Wow, this is just absolutely crazy. A whole month in the 90s? Oh man. Yeah, that is very extreme. And for most of the lower 48, yeah. Woo, y'all, please tell me what you think. This is absolutely crazy. But this is what we are dealing with now. So stay safe from COVID-19 and stay in and get some air from the heat. This is going to be a long stretch. You know, as soon as I saw the blood moon and then the 2 days, in fact, if you did not get to see the planetary alignment, this is the final night to see it. It is Jupiter, the moon, and Saturn. You should be able to see that in the night sky, if it's clear enough for you to see it. But yeah, the planet alignment came the very next day after the eclipse. The eclipse was Saturday. The planet alignment for the first time was on Sunday. And if you didn't get to see it Sunday, you'll still have a chance to see it tonight. So, ladies and gentlemen, this is where we are. Please leave your comment and subscribe. Don't forget to hit on the notification bell, and I'll see you on the next video. Peace, family.